All right, everybody, how you doing? This is Dr. Phil. Welcome back for another episode of Filling the Gaps. I've got another special guest for you here today. This is Dr. Jodie Sung. I've been interacting with Jodie now for, probably 3 or 4 years. When she was first a student at Palmer, that was when we had our first interaction through the Cal Chiro organization, and then just continue to develop our relationship at Life West and that type of stuff. And here we are now, both in practice and getting even to know each other better. So super excited to have you on today. I wanted to talk a little bit about just your experience, as a new practitioner. I think that's important for a lot of the people that I work with to understand just your journey. I think that's been super cool to see. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're practicing and those kind of things.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Jody. My pronouns are they, them. I am a chiropractor down here in Los Gatos, California. I specifically work with the queer trans community along with like the neurodivergent community as well as the roller derby community. Um,
Well, I
what
saw that. I saw that you're doing a lot of roller derby stuff. That looks cool.
Yeah. Actually, the person who did my branding reached out to me and because they had a home game and they were looking for sponsors, and I thought what a cool opportunity it would be to be a team doctor for a roller derby team, and that has been such an amazing journey. And also it's been really cool to learn about the sport. I didn't know it was like a huge thing many years ago, and now it's kind of like resurfacing. So I we're talking about going from graduation to deciding to become a business owner or an associate, and that is a really tough decision. I think when you're in school, you try your best to plan ahead. You are trying to set up connections. You're thinking about, um, is my preceptor going to turn into an opportunity? Or am I going to do my preceptor to learn as much as I can so that I can start my own business?
Right.
And it's great to get that experience. And I think when I was in school, I really focused on becoming a really good adjuster and becoming really versatile in my adjusting. And while that brought a lot of value, it also showed me a lot of like what I did and didn't like in business. And if I can take on being a business owner, or maybe if I by graduation I didn't have a like solid plan, or if I just needed a little bit more guidance, I think being an associate was a fantastic route. Um, when I was in school, um, I did have a plan, but it didn't go through, and I didn't see that as like a moment of like, oh, like I don't feel worthy or like I'm not good enough as a doctor. I definitely took that as like, okay, that's fine. And I think the people that I want to serve, the way that I want to serve is something that I think only I can curate myself. And I think that's what's a really big thing, especially like in this area. There's a lot of chiropractors. It's a dense area full of chiropractors.
Sure.
And you're always asking the question of what's going to set me apart. And ultimately, it came down to what are my values? What communities do I want to serve?
Right.
Do I think like if I'm forcing myself to become someone that I know that I'm not, that's probably not the right route. And it's also not going to be the most successful route either.
Sure.
Um, I think something to think about before graduating is what kind of life do you want to have?
Sure.
Um, I think that is definitely something that I wish that I had some time to reflect on,
Yeah.
because there was like this period of feeling lost. Like the associate role didn't work out, and so I had to decide: do I look for another associate position, or do I go ahead and take that leap? I know
Yeah.
that
I
at
know
the
we talked about that a little bit too, and you had
yeah,
helped me with when you're in school with some of the blue chip stuff that I do to help students and new graduates find job opportunities. So we've been in that discussion for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, like it's so important that blue chip exists because it is also an opportunity for students to also understand what the whole career of chiropractic and the networking it entails. I think it's so important to learn that like there's so much more outside of school
Yeah,
that there's a lot of people who want to support you when you're done with school.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I remember those first conversations, you thinking about blue chip, it starting to come to life and
yeah.
like look where it is now. It's thriving. It's doing so well. Um,
We're getting there. We're getting there.
yes. Um, yeah, I think like when it came to deciding becoming a business owner, I think I knew that at the end of the road, at the end of all of this, I know that I wanted to have my own practice.
Yeah,
And there are a lot of decisions that you have to decide, whether that's like financially, marketing, the location you want to practice in.
sure.
All of those things are a lot of components to think about. And also deciding that like I am the owner, I'm the chiropractor, and I have to wear all the hats that are involved in that.
Yeah,
Um, so learning how to do taxes was really tough.
yeah.
And I got a CPA, and I really thought that um, if you're a first year business owner, please get a CPA. They're so helpful.
Good advice. Good
Yeah,
advice. Well, I want to talk about a little bit about how you've created awareness for yourself too. But I want to ask you like a serious question because I know you said you really are passionate about serving the trans and queer community. What advice would you have for people about serving that community better? Or, yeah, I think that would be that's a really important topic, I think, to talk about at this point.
absolutely. And thank you for asking that question.
Sure.
The first and foremost thing is as a provider, you have to have someone feel seen. Asking
See,
like yeah, like seeing like
SCE. Okay. Oh, good. Good. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. Scene. I got you. All right.
yeah. Um Having someone feel heard and seen is honestly something that a lot of folks in the community need.
Sure.
Um there's a lot of um there's a lot of education that you could do. And like there's a lot of resources online, and I do think that the best way to find the right places to learn about this is like articles and educational websites that are made by queer trans people
Sure.
because they are sharing their experience, and then this is what we're hoping to let the public know. And like with my intake forms, I always ask like what is your preferred name? What are your
Sure.
pronouns? And sometimes if people don't share that, sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm Dr. Jody. My pronouns are they, them. What are yours?
So
And I think,
when someone says that my pronouns are they them, in my interactions with them, or in let's just say our interactions, what's the best way to like I guess describe somebody because you're hesitant to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, right? And I think it just from my perspective, just coming from a place of respect and trying to be build rapport, and care for people, like you said, the best I can possibly care for them. How does one navigate that landscape so that you don't offend somebody or you don't make them uncomfortable or that kind of thing, right?
yeah, absolutely. I think that coming from that place, the best thing that you could do is like try again and not like sit in the moment of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I like, and then like go down this whole story of why it's so hard when it then becomes you and they take care of you.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I think like the thing that would be offensive is that like you didn't try or that um there's no attempt in making sure that like you are using their pronouns and things like that. And like it's definitely a learning thing.
Sure.
Like a lot of folks who are in my life had a hard transition with that. But now that they verbally say it more, now that they practice it, it kind of becomes kind of an unconscious thing that happens. And
What's the words, the terminology, or the conversation like if you were going to script it with somebody that this is awesome, by the way. I think this is a great conversation. Hopefully this is helpful to a lot of people. So
yeah.
yeah, like what's the terminology or the script that you would use in that scenario, or that you've used maybe with your circle, like you said?
Yeah. The terminology is using pronouns,
Okay.
and pronouns are helping a person feel more identified with who they are. Um,
Okay.
this is gender, not necessarily sexuality.
Sure.
And the script that I would use, like if let's say, um, let's do this as I'm the provider and I
Okay.
accidentally misgender somebody. And that happens too. Like people also in the community, like they also change their pronouns. This is a
Sure.
way of not necessarily expression, but it's an identity. And so if I accidentally use the wrong pronouns and they say like, "Oh, actually, I use these pronouns," I would just say like,
Okay.
"I'm so sorry. I'm gonna like either make a note of that or just be like, I'm gonna try next time to use those right pronouns."
I see.
Um, kind of like doing this transition of like, I have received the information and I'm going to practice it. Um, something that tends to happen is that then like if that person corrects me and I go down this shame spiral of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't know, and like all of this stuff, the person is already uncomfortable and I don't want to make them more
Sure.
uncomfortable. And so it's a little bit more of like an acknowledgement and let's keep going forward, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward in the direction that feels the most comfortable for you. um, my practice is very much under the umbrella. It's about creating safety and
Sure.
um, being trauma informed too. Like
Hmm.
sometimes it's really hard for people to communicate what their pronouns are because it's something that is new to them. They're still exploring their gender and identity. And I want my practice and the space to be somewhere that they could explore that. And
Yeah.
so my mind tries to stay as open as possible, even if like if it means for me to learn something new. um I think that's the fun part of like the community and like in practice too. I get to learn more about people's lives. I get to learn more about how people want to express themselves. And I've had quite a few patients just blossom and like bloom into the person that they are, and they feel so much comfortable in their bodies. It's cool to be a part of that. But yeah, going back to that conversation, I would definitely say there's actually a lot of like articles online of like how to learn how to use somebody's pronouns, and how to ask them. And I think it's called folks.com, FOLX.
Okay.
And it's written by the queer trans community. It's um, written by people who have gone through these experiences and just
Every
want
day, probably. Yeah.
totally,
I mean,
yeah,
this is definitely an important topic that I know needs more discussion. So I'm glad we're able to touch on a little bit.
of course.
But I do want to, I want you to tell people too, just about how you've created awareness for yourself, because I think that's one of the things that I've been admiring a lot about what you've been doing. So can you share that with us a little bit too, in terms of what have you been out, a year?
Yeah, it's been about a
A
year.
year. So what are some of the things that you've been doing to create awareness for yourself, or create that awareness that you're talking about?
Yeah. When I first started my practice, I had this like whole list of organizations, nonprofit organizations, local county organizations. And the thing in the South Bay here is that the communities are small, but they're also thriving. So
Hmm.
I think that search was very much of like, I describe it as like, you like peek under a rock, are they there? You peek under another rock, are they there? Sometimes it's a pebble.
Yeah.
And the minute you find somebody in your community, you tend to like hold them close. You want to be like, hey, like, oh my
Sure.
gosh, you're another person. Like, please, like, let's stay connected. Let's like, I like to know who you know, and like, here's the people that I know, and you grow that. And um, when it comes to finding like identity and things like that, it was really important to me that I felt really good in my own
Hmm.
self, and um I felt confident in who I am and my own identity.
Yeah.
And you just want to find other spaces that feel really aligned. And so I've connected with Santa Clara County's like LGBTQ center called the Collective. They have been fantastic. They provide so much
Did you
resource.
just look it up? Did you just look it up or okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, some things you look up, some things it's a little bit harder to look up, or they're on
Sure.
Instagram. Um, and from there, you just meet people who are very resourced. And
I didn't
um,
mean to interrupt you earlier. You said you were writing something too for them?
oh no, I'm not writing something for them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that. So,
That's okay.
okay. So you
Yeah.
did that with, and as well, you did that with the roller derby community as well, or how did that come about?
Yeah. The roller derby came up from the person who did my branding.
Okay.
She just happens to be a graphic designer as her corporate job, but on the side she does roller derby, which has
Okay.
been an awesome transition. And um, in this area, there's a lot of circles, and they actually somehow like merge together. You run into people who you know in those circles, and
It's funny like
um,
that. Yeah.
it is. And there's a barbershop who is very connected. Their name is Kelly. They run this awesome like barbershop in downtown San Jose. And talking with the owner there, he has gone through this journey, a really
Yeah.
similar journey of what I've done. You kind of just like go out there and you're a little bit lost, and and then you just start talking to people. And then you just kind of like make your connections here and there. And um, this barber, he actually very much like helped me connect with more spaces. There's an
Oh, I
amazing,
love finding people like that.
yeah, yeah.
Well, we got a couple more minutes. I wanted to just touch you. You said that you're working with the neurodivergent community, and where did you get that training? And what kind of training do you have? And if people are interested in getting more training or learning more about that, maybe how do they connect with you, or some of the training that you've got and that kind of thing.
Yeah. A lot of the training comes from like my own personal knowledge. And then kind of like deep diving into there. Um, there are a lot of online courses of learning about nervous dysregulation and the neurodivergent community, because
Yeah.
um, the the way that that population processes really traumatic events or just processing information, it's a lot different than like, let's say, quote unquote, like neurotypical folks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there I've done just like a lot of like these online like courses taught by psychotherapists and
Mm-hmm.
psychologists of understanding the nervous system. I mean, chiropractors adjust the spine and the nervous system. You got to like understand everything that happens with it, right?
Yeah.
And so while it isn't in our scope, it is still information that is helpful to the way that we
Big
approach
time.
care.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. I love this concept of nervous system regulation. I think that's a conversation we need to continue to have more of in the chiropractic space and that kind of thing. So, well,
Yeah.
this is, I love the conversation we've been having. It certainly seems like there's more to have. And I'm super proud of you and all the things that you're doing and how committed you are to the profession. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way to get in contact, learn more about what you're doing and how in ways you might be able to help them,
Yeah, totally. On social media is a great way. You can contact me. My handle is at Dr. Jodie Sung, DC. Um, let's see, my email is contact@vitalconnectionschiropractic.com. Happy to have these conversations with folks and happy to have this conversation going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm sure hopefully we'll run into each other soon in a event here. Yeah. And thanks again. I'll until next time, we'll see you guys, and you can tune in for the next episode of Filling the Gaps. Thanks so much.